what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Welcome to The Razor's Edge, build up to Bloodstock Winter Gathering, and today we have with us one of the great minds behind the festival and his dog, Simon Hall. Simon, how are you?
All right, mate. How are you? You good?
Good, thank you.
No worries.
So we've had a few months for the dust to settle on the latest edition of the Summer Festival. So how was that for you?
As hectic as it always is. I don't get to see half the bands I book, running around chasing my own tail. But yeah, it was great. Punters seemed to enjoy it. Bands certainly enjoyed it backstage. The atmosphere was really good, and the weather held off. So yeah, it was all right. All in all, as far as like outdoor festivals go, it was a belter. So yeah, absolutely,
yeah. And 2026, the weekend tickets sold out yesterday. So congratulations on that.
Thank you to everyone that made that happen. Yeah, that's it's the 25th anniversary next year, so we've gone all guns blazing with the extra evening.
Yes,
with Saxon and Evil Scarecrow and some, what they called, some dinosaur band that Vicky booked. I've no idea who it is. Dinosaurus or something like that.
Yeah.
I've no idea. But yeah, it's going to be a giggle. And we've got a few surprises in store on that one as well. So yeah, it's all guns blazing at the minute. We seem to be doing really well. Excellent.
You are indeed. So we're really here to talk about Winter Gathering rather than Summer Festival. Yeah. So for anyone...
Hence the fact I put this really...
Nice bit of product placement there.
You know what it is? It's just in case I forget who the bands are, I can just go like that and remind myself.
Yeah. So for anyone oblivious to Bloodstock's history, it all started indoors way back when. So who on the team first had the idea to spin up the indoor event again, and why now after all these years?
To be quite honest, mate, it's actually been in the offing for several years. We've always toyed with the idea, but it's never really seemed to be the right time. But for the last couple of years, I mean, this next year and sort of this year, we've sold out. So we've actually sort of accrued a bit of money, you know, in the background. And we thought, well, now's the time to sort of kind of reignite it, especially with it being the 25th anniversary next year as well. Yeah. Let's get the ball rolling with, you know, not a massive event, but just an event where people in the calendar, they only get to see each other, you know, in August. So let's pull something together in the winter and sort of, you know, and give everyone an opportunity to sort of meet up and say hi and sort of, you know, break bread and dip it in a load of alcohol.
So when did you start getting serious about booking a lineup for the Winter Festival?
I think me and Vicky started looking at it probably 12 months ago, maybe a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
We probably, if in hindsight, probably left it a little late in the calendar. We're already looking at next year, this time, you know, next year already.
Yeah.
Because with the way things go, with the way touring routes go, et cetera, we want to try and get ahead of the curve again. So, but luckily, we fell on a lineup that just works so well for us, and works so well for the first of a winter gathering show.
Absolutely, and Candlemass headlining a winter show sounds perfect, doesn't it? So,
it does. It really does. Absolutely.
So you've almost preempted a question I had. Is that
sorry?
You're looking ahead and already considering booking next year, so it won't be a one-off. It will be coming back again.
I don't think so. I mean, you know, unless this goes horribly wrong, which I can't see it happening. I guess the fact is because you know, we're so used to doing an outdoor event on a big scale. We're very much concerned of making sure that this smaller scale show, in many regards, is the best it can possibly be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We want it to be that same Bloodstock standard across the board. So as much as we've booked a killer lineup, the fact is we want to do extra things like signing sessions, like meet and greet, talk to the directors, etc.
Yeah.
Pin them down, ask them questions, make them feel really awkward. You know, that kind of, but joking aside, it's about the personability of Bloodstock as well.
Yeah.
We've always tried to be upfront and personable and sort of, by the fans, for the fans. That's what it's all about. So yeah.
Yeah, and as we said, it's a stacked lineup. We can see behind you there: Candlemas, Venom, Hell Ripper, Raised by Owls, Torch Demon, King Kraken,
Yeah.
etc.
I think one of the big things, as much as I wanted to get, Tony's a good mate of mine from Venom Inc. And, I sort of pushed him into doing the Ave Satanas set. And at first he's like, I don't know. But now he's like, yeah, I've never done that album in its entirety.
Yeah.
So Venom Inc. doing that for the first time ever is a big one. Candlemas, they absolutely blew me away at Bloodstock. In the Sophie tent, that was just absolutely built for them. But as much as it's about that, we want to give a leg up to bands like Tortured Demon, King Kraken, Hellbearer, Thoom, all bands that have sort of, been in and around the sort of Metal to the Masses scene and, sort of the local scenes as well. So, as big a leg up we can give them, the better. And I think, by the way it's selling, punters are really picking up on it as well. So it's cool.
Absolutely. So you and Vicky do the majority of the booking, obviously, for the summer events. Is that the same for the winter? Is it the good share?
Yeah, I think Vicky booked Candlemas, and I pretty much booked the rest of it. But we work as a team anyway because we lock horns quite a lot, believe it or not. But I think that's what makes it work, because with the Bloodstock balance, we've always been about balance. I think that's the thing, where we book a metalcore band over here, we'll make sure we book something polar opposite over there. And I think with this, it was as much about the British element of sort of rising bands as much as it was about Candlemas as well, sort of finishing it off. And you're dead right. A winter gathering with Candlemas it just sounds so doomy. It's great. Love it.
Yeah, and you talk about the British element, and one of the highlights of that first post-COVID Bloodstock for me was how strong it was with so many British bands. I think the talent pool in the UK at the moment is absolutely huge.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really good. And, we need to be, along with others, giving those bands a leg up as best possible. But you're dead right. That year that we came back, and what did we have? Like 8 weeks after they gave us the green light from COVID, from the lockdown, we managed to get a festival together. It was one of those festivals where people turned around to me and said, "How was your Bloodstock?" That one, no idea, absolutely no idea, because literally we were doing COVID tests on the crew, on the security. And also every 10 minutes there was another band cancelling. A band turned around saying, what was it? They were being pinged. Is that right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If you were being pinged, I feel perfectly all right, but I've been pinged. And like all these bands are going, sorry, I've just been pinged. So I was literally phoning agents and saying, have you got any bands that haven't been pinged in the last 24 hours? And literally, I can't even remember half the bands that played. It was mad, but it was ostensibly British, wasn't it? Because
it was,
couldn't get anyone over. Yeah, that was a mad one. Mad one.
Yeah, it was a brilliant weekend.
It's kind of weird with that one, because we were looking at each other going, how is everyone going to react after COVID? Are they going to come through the gates like feral animals and just run rabid? Because they've been locked up for like 2 years. Or are they going to be really hesitant? It was a mixture of both.
Yeah.
It was literally the first hour and a half, everyone's like, are you all right to shake hands? Are you all right to sort of give us a hug?
Yeah.
And then within an hour and a half and everyone on the source, that was it. They just, all hell was let loose. It was bloody hilarious.
It was.
And it was a crazy one. That was crazy.
Yeah. So you bring in the winter gathering to the best metal venue in the country, in my opinion, KK Steel Mill. My second home.
Tyson has paid you to say that, hasn't he?
He hasn't. He's paid me to say something later.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. And you know what? The more I go there, I'm not far behind you on that. I love the place, and it's run by two guys that really do care. I mean, again, metalheads that are running a cracking venue.
Yeah,
and it's good. I had a good laugh this morning. It was good fun.
Excellent. So, when you were looking for venues, how many venues did you have on the table that you were considering for the winter gathering?
Probably half a dozen, I'd say. we wanted to keep them central.
Yeah.
How do I say this without? We wanted to keep them with independent venues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't want to go down the route of non-independent venues. There you go. I skirted around that one nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd rather support the independent venue and give them sort of, the Bloodstock support as much as having their support to help us through, because Tyson and Phil have done a great job in sort of saying, okay, here's the room, let's open it up. What can we do from our end? What can they do from their end? Let's make something that's going to look and sound and sort of, I'm only smirking because something came up today that I can't talk about, but it involves snow. There you go.
I'll text Ty straight after this. So what were you looking for in a venue? Because obviously KK's is 2 rooms, and you've got that room to play with. What were you looking for when you were looking for these venues?
I think the 2 rooms minimum was the first port of call.
Yeah.
Because as I say, that if we're going to put sort of 1,500 to 1,800 people in there, the fact is we don't want one point of focus. We want 2 or 3 points of focus. Hence the fact that we got the second room.
Yeah.
Hence the fact that we're doing the signing sessions. Hence the fact we got big merch stalls. There's going to be loads going on, because I've been to all days. You've been to all days where if there's one point of focus on the stage, then those turnarounds can become quite tiresome after a while.
Yeah.
As long as there's something to go to, then that's what we're looking at is keeping people engaged and entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who don't know the steel mill, the main room is huge. I think it's got 2,000 capacity when fully utilised. But the second room is considerably smaller. It only holds about 150, 200 people.
Compact and bijou. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
But the fact is, for a band like Red Method, Thum, and Hellbearer, it's going to be great. Because people may not be aware of who these. Well, Red Method you'll be aware of, but they may not be aware of Hellbearer and Thum. But the fact is that room is. The sound in there is killer. It's absolutely killer. So it'll be a good sort of expose, if you like, to those bands.
Yeah, the one thing from my personal experience I would call out is that I can already see disgruntled people complaining on Facebook that 2,000 people in the main room don't fit into 150 when there's a break in the small room. So how do you plan to manage that?
Open the curtains so they can watch from the side.
I was going to say
they can watch through the window.
Yeah, well, there is a window at the end.
There is, yeah.
Or have you thought about live streaming from the second stage onto the big screen on the main stage?
No. Oh, hello. Yeah, why not?
They've got the big screen in there, haven't they? So.
Well, we're actually doing it, so it's the turnaround. So,
is
there something in that? Possibly. Thanks for that. You've just put more on the budget. Cheers, kid. But no, that's something I could possibly look at because you've got the screens there. I mean, that's the thing for people who haven't been to KK's. It's a bloody good venue. I mean, it's got everything there. The sound systems across both stages is great. The videos and the visuals on the main stage are second to none. They're spot on. And I've seen metal bands there, as I've seen rock bands and prog bands there. I've seen all sorts, and it works on all levels. It really is. It's very good. Very, very good.
Yeah. So, assuming the event is a success, and I assume it will be based off ticket sales at the moment. Tice kindly gave me a number yesterday, so it's going to become an annual event now, I guess, with the success of it, with the success of the Summer Festival.
I think so. At the end of the day, we're not pushing it too hard. Do you know what I mean? But because the fact is, we you know what? I think this has been the sort of Bloodstock mantra from day one. Is the fact is little steps. We've always thought of little steps. We've never invested heavily and then sort of retracted and regretted what we've done. We've always gone in little incremental steps, like little steps like at Bloodstock this year. Finally we had the screens on the Sophie stage, which made the stage look a million times better. but it's been those incremental steps that, you know, we like up until a year or so ago, we felt it was fine, but then we thought, no, there's more we can do. And I think with the Winter Gathering, what we'll do is we'll run this show to the best of our ability, sit back, review, and see what we can do to make it, you know, better moving forward. But yeah, I'm hoping and praying that this works as a year in, year out sort of event. I think that there's no reason why it shouldn't. There's a lot of things in the calendar. That's the thing. There's a lot of sort of gigs and events sort of in the calendar. But, you know, if we can do well on this one, then let's do it in, year out.
Absolutely. Have you considered growth at all? You talk about main Bloodstock incrementally has grown year by year, every year. KK's is obviously bricks and mortar, and you cannot physically expand it beyond its license capacities.
Yeah.
Year on year, if you have it a number of years and it hits that capacity every year, what do you do next?
There was talk of touring it. There was talk of running it in sort of a northern region, a southern region, and the Midlands region. You know, but that again, we'd have to make sure that this works. That this works as a format, as a recognised date in the calendar. And then, is there a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? You know, is there something we can do? You know, sort of one down south, one up north, and one in the middle. You know, maybe
Slam Dunk, where they have the north and south on consecutive days.
Yeah, there's no reason why not. But again, it's all down to, you know, brass tacks and numbers, isn't it? It's Absolutely. You know, if this sells well and if this does, you know, what we're hoping it's going to do, and also the fact is if it works for punters as a sort of that rekindling exercise, if you like. And as I say, you know, going to Bloodstock over the summer just feels like coming home. Yeah. But, you know, is there a family reunion we can make in the winter time as well? You know, that's what we're looking at. That's what Absolutely. We're looking at.
Yeah. So this will be the second Bloodstock event after the summer. Would you consider expanding the Bloodstock brand further, or is it just these two events and that's going to be it?
You'd have to ask the directors on that one, mate. I am but a humble servant. I just make the tea and book the bands. There's, you know, I'm not going to lie. There has been talk over the years, but the fact is, we have to be very careful in this sort of climate of overstretching. And I think that's one thing that Bloodstock's never done. We've always been very much aware of, you know, where we stand in the market, what we can provide in the marketplace, and where our fan loyalty is. Never say never, but who knows? Who knows? You know, you're just trying to send me out on tour, aren't you? That's what you're trying to do. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. I mean, Christ, I'm not in the house from May through to August because I do Metal to the Masses. Yeah, you know, and then I do that. So now I'm out at Christmas. You're trying to get me bloody divorced here, mate. Behave.
So finally, Simon, before we finish, is there any truth in the rumour that I've been told as of yesterday?
I can feel it coming. It's a Tice question.
It is, yeah. Is there any truth in the rumour that Beholder will be doing a secret set at Winter Gathering?
There's absolutely no truth in that. They couldn't afford us. No, Beholder is done and dusted. We had a great few years doing it. Well, many years doing it. But yeah, that's it. I'm too old to rock and roll now, mate. Too old to rock and roll. And here's a question for Tice.
Yeah.
Right. Since he's almost certainly, is it true that he took both Calpol and Tixie Licks to get over his cough? Yeah. Because I know for a fact he did.
Brilliant, Simon. It's been a pleasure talking to you about Winter Gathering today.
And you, my mate. Be good.
I'll see you there, if not before. And for all of our listeners, there's roughly 20% of the tickets left, so get them now before they sell out.
Absolutely, yeah. Get on board. December the 6th, KK Steel Mill, Bloodstock Winter Gathering, Candlemas, Venom Inc., Hell Ripper, Raised by Owls, Tortured Demon, King Kraken, Red Method, Thoom, and Hellbearer. Go check it out.
listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.